video. It looks like it's working, I think. All right.
It's record. Yeah, it's recording on my end. It
It's
says
recording? Okay.
record.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. This is your episode. Okay. Welcome back, guys. This is Coach Joe Bala, back on the Joe Bala Fitness Podcast. I have a special guest to introduce all of you listeners and followers to. This is my cousin, my god brother, my big brother, Allan Reyes. So Allan has a story to tell that I wanted to share with all of you, or he wants to share with all of you, because he's been on a journey this year with me as my client, with Spartan training and a Spartan race journey. So, Allan,
Yes.
please introduce yourself.
Hello, America, and everybody out there in podcast land. I am Allan Reyes. I am, of course, Coach Joe Bala's cousin. We've known each other for ever since we were like so little kids. But for everybody out there, I am also a member of the Spartan family, being trained by the coach. I decided to join this Spartan journey because it's not over yet this year, so that I can be able to improve my health and hopefully be some somewhat of an inspiration to others with my story that I have to tell. That's everything in a geist for right now. So that's
Amazing.
me in a nutshell.
Awesome. I love it. So those that don't know, is there a social media page or site that they can follow you on, just to kind of kickstart your
Yeah.
story?
So if anybody wants to follow me, of course, I'm on Facebook by my name, Allan Reyes. You could just put in a search, or if you want to go to Instagram, I'm under Castillo Hidalgo 76. That's my name tag. And for those MySpace users out there, I still believe my MySpace works. So if you could just jump right on there. I also have AOL for all those folks out there who still use that. You can still jump on that and search me on my name. So that's a little tidbit for you guys. So
That is
if you
awesome.
guys want to see, I post a lot of the stuff from my Spartan journey and health, so that you can be able to see a lot of the stuff that's going on concerning that.
That's awesome. So to let's get started with your story. Like, those of you that are listening and watching here on YouTube, um, Alan and I go back way back, like when we were little kids, right? So, he's, like I said, he's my big brother, and he knows I've gone through a journey myself with respect to my career, my own life, and then just me becoming the athlete that I am today, finding an outlet through Spartan, through OCR, through now as well Ninja Wear. And so, Alan has his own story to share, and that's I guess that's where we're going to start. Like, how did you get started on your fitness journey with me?
Okay, so for everybody out there on the video, before we go to where we started, I want everybody to see where we are right now. And you see this sexy thing right here? It's a 10,000 pound medal right here. And before we got to this, there was a really sad, rather true story to it. Let's start way back in what month is this? This is December, so June. June, yeah, June of this year. So right now I'm 45, and at the time I was 44. And so I was going through what a lot of folks who are at that age would consider to be a midlife crisis. And for those of you folks out there who have gone through it, you probably would experience a feeling of uselessness, or a feeling that you're unable to do the things that you used to do. Your worth isn't as much as it used to be. And for a lot of the folks out there who haven't gone through, I'm not saying that it's something that to look forward to, but it's rather something that more than likely is going to happen sooner or later to just about everybody who is going to approach that 40-year-old mark and beyond. So that's where I was. And at the time, I was not an ardent uh, person in regards to health or fitness, whether it be diet or whether it be exercise at all. Nothing. I was just enjoying all kinds of foods and basically doing whatever I wanted to want when I wanted to do it. Now, that being said, combined with the fact that I was going through a midlife crisis. Now, the particular midlife crisis that I was going through, um, I myself, I'm not married, nor do I have any children. So that just added to the other weight of a bit of uselessness, as I was able to see my own mortality. I'm getting older. I'm not getting younger. I could feel my body getting weaker, slowing down. My body was starting to slow down, whether it's because I'm unable to go to point A to B faster, or whether it's just doing daily activities of life, as compared to maybe 5, 10 years ago. Even a drive to San Jose, that really wore me out. And I just realized that and I'm not where I was anymore. And starting to realize that I'm probably never going to get back to that at all again. Um, that combined with the fact that I feel that a lot of folks, whether they be family members or those close to me, would frown or look at me that I'm not funner anymore because I'm getting older. Uh, I can't be able to accomplish much anymore because I'm slower, or I'm felt to myself that I'm just not getting. I'm not. I was just going to my own worthlessness, and that was also my lack of health related activities, whether it be exercise or even diet. That added to it a lot, and because I was just at home, whether just watching TV or after work, I would work long hours and just not do anything active. And I already knew that by not being active, that would uh, add to my depression, because that's something I've had for a very, very long time. Uh, I've been, my depression would be come on and off again. I've had that for decades, and I would fight that off through various means, whether it be active in exercise or by doing other activities such as being joining, watching sports or things of that nature, or raising my nieces and nephews. But however, at the time, they had all grown up. That is one of the things. So once they had all grown up, they, of course, had to live their own lives. And then where would that leave me? So that all added up to the fact, or to the midlife crisis that I was going through. I felt that I wasn't going anywhere, that I was just declining in all kinds of stages of my life, health wise, my mental faculties, all kinds of stuff. And I got to the point where I was thinking to myself, I'm either going to continue to go down this route, and even though I know that my body eventually it's going to lean towards being weak, because of course I'm getting older, but that didn't necessarily mean that I had to stay that way, or I had to stay in the situation or the position that I was. And so it dawned on me, I either I would decline, or I would rise from where I was. So basically, uh, I made the decision some months ago that I was sick and tired of excuses, like sick and tired of being um, weak, uh, being someone who is unable to do anything, being someone who, let's see, for the lack of a better word, being a loser, not being able to do anything, being mundane, being monotonous, being mediocre. That's the word. That's where I was at that point. For a very, very long time, I was at that point. Because also I had just switched job shifts to graveyard, which those folks out there who have worked in that shift, it can be very, very demanding because of the sleep schedule, and that just added to everything else. And being on that schedule, also, I was no longer with the coworkers and friends that had spent many months and years with their, hanging out with them, enjoying their company and stuff like that. So that being said, for a good 6, 7 months, I was just going home and not being proactive or active whatsoever. And that all added up to my midlife crisis, my depression, everything. And I came to a point where it's either I'm going to let this slowly, bring me down, and I will just go down this route, and I'll either suffer health wise because of it by either eating the wrong things or eating too much, or my uh, I'll just in my more mental faculties, I'll just continue to think, I'm just getting older and weaker, and then after that, I'm gonna start to actually look at my hair will start to turn gray and all kinds of stuff. And I would just go down that route and be nothing. But I decided allow myself to go down this route. Why? Because I remember that there was a point when I was not like this. And so I had to make a decision. Should I rise from this? And there was a lot of venues and opportunities to be able to rise from it, and which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. Or should I just continue to go down this unhealthy path? Unhealthy in regards to health, unhealthy in regards to, mentally, unhealthy regards to, emotionally, to be in a very, very bad place. And to go just downhill from there and lead to all kinds of bad stuff. So there are a lot of good avenues, of course, that I decided I could be able to go on. For example, like eating right and exercising and stuff like that. But basically, I decided for all those folks out there, please forgive my French. I said, "Fuck this! Like, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna be like this." No, why? Because there's a lot of folks out there. There's a lot of stories out there of folks who were able to rise from their issues, rise from their problems, rise from that, and live a very, very good, happy, positive life. And so it was at that moment, or actually a little bit before that, that I received a email message from your wife, and this message was to join a Spartan race in December of this year at the AT&T Stadium. It was a stadion event. I didn't really think much of it at the time. I'm like, whatever. And then I started to add one and one together. I said, this is an interesting event. I could be with my family because about 2 years ago, we had the pleasure, the fun of joining a race also, which was a lot of fun, my first Spartan race. And, it did a lot of wonders, for my health and things with such. But because of COVID, that really put a muck in everybody's lives. A lot of us, we had planned out our family all together to do a race last year that did not follow through. So, of course, with the code which was given from that race that we couldn't go, I believe your wife suggested and decided rather that we should go to this race in San Francisco. So I gave it further thought that, you know what, this is what a great idea. So of course I ended up joining, and then I started to add up one and one together again. I said, if I can do this, if I can join this race, I was aware that there was another other races that others have joined. That of course, that Coach Joe has joined, and also a trainer of, excuse me, the of those Spartan races. Because out for those of you out there who um, in podcast land who are not aware, there are several types of Spartan races. Uh, we have the sprint. We have the super, and then we have the one of the, I like to say, one of the worst ones of the both, the one of the beast. So a lot of his students, a lot of folks, and especially this guy, my coach, my cousin, who has done it and trained other folks in these races, that they've done it, and they have all their stories, even though they're all different. They all basically tell the story that um, they're at a place where they want to go higher and reach a higher level and reach a sense and level of accomplishment. Basically, do something which is attainable. So, long story short, they want to get their ass whooped so they can get a feeling, a sense of accomplishment. So there you go. And that's where I was. I said, you know what? If I could do this, then most definitely I could do the other things. So it was a choice had to be made. I could either go down and continue to be depressed and continue to be miserable and continue to get fat and unhealthy and continue to, at the time right now as of today, as is, I I'm still a smoker. However, I don't intend on being in that situation for the remainder of my life. It is a continuing crutch. But that being said, I wasn't gonna let that affect my decision as well, and I'll expound that out in a minute too. So, that being said, I had to make a decision that I'm either gonna be depressed, I'm either gonna be miserable, I'm either gonna let my excuses take over for me and just bring me down and just continue to mess up my mind, mess up my health, and just mess up all my relationships, whether it be family and friends and whatnot. And I said, you know what, the hell with that. I'm gonna make a decision to do something positive, to do something perhaps inspirational. If others are gonna be inspired by it, so be it. But the first person I'm gonna inspire is myself. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. So not only did I sign up for that, as Coach Bala's wife had wanted, join that team, and it was myself who I believe was the third person because Coach Bala's sister would be the second, if I recall correctly, and then of course my cousin would be a part of that team, and then my crazy ass, I said, you know what, I'll, without giving it any thought or really like much study, only from hearsay. And the hearsay would be is that my cousin, my coach, would go to this beast race in like freezing degree weather and be out there like Mr. Freeze, like be out there like a popsicle, running around like damn near butt naked, going up the damn mountain and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I said, you know what, that sounds in my crazy mind, and I'm like, all right, that sounds inspiring. Oh yeah, go figure, huh? So that sounds inspiring. But anyways, long story short, um, for those of you folks out there who was able to see this, I'll show it again. So if I can get one of these, get two of them, and if I could get two of them, I could probably get three of them. And it's just a whole thing of mind over matter. It's either I'm gonna let these damn excuses or these damn weaknesses get me, or I'm gonna kick them in the ass and I'm gonna make my own choices and destiny in life. And so I did. I said, fuck this shit. Oh, apologies to everybody out there in podcast land for my French, but I said, okay, so I'm gonna make this decision for health and mental reasons, and for my own sanity's sake. I can't, even though I am getting older, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna allow that to bog me down. Even though I am in the situation that I am in, working graveyards, and for those of you out there, to give you a quick glimpse, as I shared earlier, that I am. What also bogged me down was also another fact that um, I had no one in my life at the time. Uh, Been through several failed relationships, no children of my own to call upon, and so that was also my own mortality was like really flashing itself right in front of my face. I'm like, I'm 45. I have no one in my life, and it's probably going to be like that for the remainder of my life, with no children of my own. And what really, one of the real breaking point was this: I, at that time, before I made the decision to join the Spartan race, which really is the one point in my life which was the most depressing point of my life. Before that, I don't think I've shared this with anyone, even to my cousin. I, at the time, before I was given that email invitation, I believe this is the first time I'm mentioning this privately or publicly. Um, at 44 and almost at 45, I was older than my own father was when he had me. Meaning to say that I had, he had children at a younger age than I was, and I was already older than that and past that, and I had not even done anything in regards to that, and that really bummed me out. And I was like, "Shit, this sucks." Looking at it kind of lightheartedly right now, but at the time, it really weighed itself on me, um, heavily, heavily, heavily. I was like really bummed out for a good number of days and weeks. Okay, so moving forward, got the email invitation and accepted that. Join, what's the name of that team? Humble Family or something like that. I forgot the name of
Humble,
the team.
humble
Yeah,
fan.
yeah, Humble Fam or something like that. So joined that, and after that, I reached out to my cousin, the coach, and I shocked this guy, and I asked him like, you know what? I want to do a beast. I want to do a beast, and I don't know what his facial reaction was. He was probably drinking coffee and spilled it on himself, and said, What was this guy, man? This guy's out of his damn mind." He's like, "Okay," and in my own mind, I really didn't know what to expect. I've heard stories and, of course, seen videos, and there's only so much you can do by watching videos and reading and hearing stories and what have you. And having experienced that, it is not what it's all cracked up to be. It's totally different. You have to experience it for yourself to be able to get the full what's the word I like to use, the full taste of what you're what to expect. But anyways, so I decided to do it. Um, not to be boastful, to be braggadocious, or is that a word? So, or to be spiteful, or to any of that. I just want to do it just to defeat my own demons, if you will. To say that yes, I can accomplish something. I'm not gonna let these weaknesses or excuses, or the main one was depression. That's the main one. Whether it be the midlife crisis, thinking about what I alluded to earlier, being older than my father when he had me. I'm not gonna let any of that stuff, wear me down. Try to use something negative and make it a positive, and that was it. So the first step was, of course, by reaching out and asking. I'm gonna ask first if want to join me in doing this beast race in beautiful Lake Tahoe, and he was so kind enough to agree, and even more kind to coach me in this. And believe me, out there, America, the coaching sucked. The training kicked my ass.
That's awesome.
More, yeah, more on that later. So it was not easy. I'll tell you that much right now. Um, that
How
and of course,
expand on that, cousin? Like for those that have been following me or listen or potentially considering joining, like what about it that sucked? Can you kind of elaborate on that a little bit?
yes, yes, yes. So the reason why I say it sucked. Of course, I didn't say like, oh, this is horrible or anything like that. But the reason why I would use that term is because I would go from one state, which is being eating what you want, doing what you want, being so lax and sleeping what you want, and totally like day and night just transform. because not that I'm being forced to. It is because I want to. Uh, whether it was the whole change of diet, the change of habits, the training itself, because there is a difference between training and exercising. Let me tell you that, America. There's a huge difference. It isn't like going to the gym and do some jumping jacks and shit like that. Nah, we're talking about like actually training the specific body parts of your body, which you're gonna use when you run up the damn mountain. So, the reason why I use the term suck, and I use that term lovingly because it was my choice my choice and my choice alone. I wasn't, held at gunpoint or anything like that to do any of this. None of it. It was my choice. Um,
That's
to
awesome.
transform,
Like,
or to go from point A, or yeah, point A, which was the lifestyle that I had, which was smoking and eating and doing whatever I want, to point B, which was training and living and eating the way which should be done in order to have a very, very successful marathon. So
yeah.
that's what sucked. So I use that term lovingly, with no spitefulness, none of that. I use that term lovingly. Uh, yes.
No, that's
So
awesome. Yeah, and
yeah.
that's the thing that when you first contacted me, like we'll step back for a bit. Like you mentioned, how did I react when you messaged me about signing up for Tahoe Beast?
Oh.
Honestly, my heart like lit up. That's how I felt, and I felt like sudden joy, sudden like excitement because I've been coaching for Spartan for some time now, and I
Mm-hmm.
made the switch from engineering to fitness because I couldn't find joy in what I was doing before, like true
Mm-hmm.
joy, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the fact that I was able to share this with you know me being a coach with you, my family,
Mm-hmm.
my big brother, my cousin,
Mm-hmm.
like I was just lit up inside because I was like, yes, let's go, right? And
Mm-hmm.
um, the first race that we actually had you do was Spartan Monterey. That was a
Mm-hmm.
super, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe share with the people your experience there, like versus Tahoe Beast. Like what are the things that stood out to you the most with respect to the differences in the courses and differences in the training, your approach and what we
Mm-hmm.
talked about over the weeks
Yeah.
and months leading up to
Mm-hmm.
those events.
Okay. So for everybody out there, I believe I first signed for the Beast. That's what I had mentioned. However, in order to complete the trifecta, I needed the Super as well. So that was Monterey, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
That was Monterey. So I signed up for the Beast first, the Tao, and then, but however, in order to complete the trifecta, I had to do the Monterey first. There is a huge difference. Or actually, the only difference I would see rather is the training for the beast would be more intense, and the length of it would be far greater. Now, um, for the beast, or no, the super rather. Oh, excuse me. For the training for I believe each and every one of these trainings, each and every one of these marathons, I had gone and to San Jose, to what was that? Mission Peak. Was that is that
Mission
what I
Peak
had gone to?
Spartans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mission
Mission
Peak.
Peak Spartans.
Yeah, I believe for each and every one of those, I had a training session with you, and all of them were different as pertaining to the course at hand and the skills that I had wanted to um, learn. For the super, um, what was the question? Like how or the difference?
Yeah. So what did you find were the differences in training for and preparing for with the super at Monterey versus the beast at Tahoe? Like what were the main other than like the distances, obviously.
Yeah. I would
The,
say, like I mentioned earlier, the difference would be the time and length of the training. That's the difference, at least I see, because I see that for example, for the super. Um, I believe I didn't have that much time in training or much time. I believe I don't know. I believe I only had like a few weeks to be able to train for that, as opposed to the beast where I had like maybe a month or more so. For the super, I went through the intense training maybe about 1 or 2 weeks prior to, as opposed to the beast. I spent an entire 5 to 6 weeks of, to this day, I haven't trained like that ever for anything, whether it be studying, whether it be exercise, whether it be anything. So, uh, to answer that question, I would say the length and time of not just the training, but the length of time also, because with each and every race that I did, I literally made the decision to quit smoking cold turkey. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna make this race if I'm smoking. So just like, just like that, I just dropped it like that. And before the super, I believe I had stopped smoking maybe a good 7 to 8 days prior, cold turkey. With the beast, I believe I stopped maybe 2 to 3 weeks prior to,
That's
and
awesome.
just the length of time. That's the difference. The length of time and intensity of the trainings. Of course, with the super, not so much as compared to the beast.
Yeah.
With the beast, of course, it was longer and more intense. So
What do you,
that's the main difference.
yeah. No, that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, cousin.
Hmm.
The other things I wanted to ask, or have you share with people are like what, through the training, what did you gain? What were the thing if you had to list like 3 to 5 things that you gained through training for Spartan, and how it affected your life, how it affected your approach to life, your mindset. Obviously physical fitness is part of that,
Hmm.
but like, we talk about mindset, we talk about habit changes and things like
Hmm.
that. What are the things that you can list off for people?
Number one, it's all in your mind. What do you, as a person, what do you want? Do you want to be successful at this race? And if you do, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices and decisions. Oh, a lot of folks say, oh, it's hard. You're like, hell yeah, it's hard. But what do you want? For me personally, um, I am a lifelong smoker, but I realized that in order to perform better, that I had to, give that habit up. A lot of folks would use, and I'm not discounting those folks who are in need of, whether it be the nicotine patches or gums or anything like that, or maybe an alternative to their vices. But for me personally, I was like, either I'm gonna get this medal and I'm gonna be successful, or I'm gonna continue smoking. So I said, the hell with it, I'm gonna stop it. So I dropped it cold turkey, and because I wanted to be able to, I wanted to be successful. I wanted this. This is what I wanted. I wanted to uh, finish this race. During our first race in 19, I saw, unfortunately, a lot of folks unable to finish the races because of injuries and what have you. I didn't want that. I wanted to um, finish and accomplish this race. That is what I wanted. So I'm like, in order to do that, I understood that I had to give up some things. One of them was smoking, and the other things were such as, of course, the bad foods and other habits that I had to change, such as the increased number of hours in exercise and things of that nature. So the first thing is the mental decision. Like, what do you want?
Hmm.
Uh, do you want this or do you want that? And so what I would say is that it's all in the mind. It's a decision that you make first in your mind. Do you want to get that medal? Do you want to finish that race? Or would you rather have these other things? In my personal case, the vices, the smoking, the fast food, and things of that nature. So I dropped all that like that. The second thing is not just to make that decision, but to continue to make that decision. It isn't just that one point. Okay, I want to do it. Because a lot of folks would do that. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I want to go this race, but then again, they don't, follow through. It's a day-to-day, night-to-night decision. You have to decide every day and continue and be. What's the word I'm looking for?
Consistent, right?
Yes, to be consistent with that decision and do certain things and habits to um, help you in that making decision. Well, for example, the continued trainings that you gave me through your app, those exercises and stuff like that, uh, follow that, religiously. It's not just to follow any other regimen or like just the exercise per se, but rather to, strictly, excuse me, follow, okay, I want to do this for this many sets, this kind of exercise, and do these kind of stretches and these kind of exercises that will train, this body part, et cetera, so on and so forth. And every day, because you could make a decision. Oh, I want to join the race, or I want to, join the. I want to do this. I want to get the triathlon. I want to make the beast. No, you have to make that damn decision from the moment you decided up until the moment you cross that damn finish line. That is,
Yes.
that's basically it. It's consistency, and it's not just every day until the race. Hell no, it's when you get in the race until you get to the damn finish line.
Yeah.
You have to have that in your mind that I want to uh have this in my mind that I've decided to do it. And I would like to say the third one is this, to also realize that albeit you made your decision first to, do it, and then second to continue to make the decision by implementing the exercises and the other plans to do so. But also realize, accept reality. And the reality is this, that there are some obstacles, as you know. I want to share it to everybody in podcast land. There are a lot of obstacles in this race that I personally wasn't able to finish. In my particular case, it was the rope and it was the monkey bars. But that being said, it was not nothing like, all right, I wasn't able to do it, but I realized that I wasn't able to do it, but that doesn't mean that's going to stay that way. Hell no. I wanna one of these days I'm gonna try to accomplish that. And so that's the third thing. To be adamant on, or persistent rather, and not just these decisions that you made, is to see that you're not able to finish everything. It's not going to be the most perfect race. You're not going to be able to um, conquer everything the first go ahead, as opposed to like all these super athletes who like have like they can be able to finish everything and do all this in record time. Behind that, there's a story where they were unable to do that, where they could not do that, and it's only been for a short period of time. So for all you folks out there who decide that you want to go on this journey, that's exactly what it is. It's a journey. um it's not a destination, but it's a journey. So if you're gonna fail at something, hey, that's cool. That doesn't mean it has to be that way. You could get up and do it again and try it again. As in my case, albeit I have my trifecta, but I wasn't able to do a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do. But that being said, um, it doesn't always have to be that way. I could always go back and work my ass off and do it again.
Yeah.
And if in the eventuality, whether because of injury or age or whatever, that I'm unable to accomplishment, the whole fact of the matter is, you gave it a shot. Uh, you didn't half-ass it. You didn't give up. You didn't tap out. You gave 110%, and that's what matters.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so those three things: you make your decision, you be consistent with your decision, and with the decision that you made, even though you may not get the results that you wanted, it doesn't have to be like that all the time. You could always dust yourself off and try it again.
Yes. No, I love
Hmm.
that. That's
Hmm.
so powerful. You just said that last
Hmm.
bit. You
Hmm.
dust yourself off literally because
Hmm.
Spartan Race is why I did it in the first place,
Mm-hmm.
why I chose to be a Spartan coach,
Mm-hmm.
is to literally, dust yourself off from all the things that may weigh you down, the
Mm-hmm.
things that may weigh you down mentally, may weigh you down
Mm-hmm.
physically, and just literally, work your ass off to get
Mm-hmm.
through, each obstacle is literally, it carries over to life, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you said it so perfectly, that you can get up. It's a journey, it's a
Mm-hmm.
process, not a destination, and
Mm-hmm.
there's always reason and purpose behind, training, and there's always something for you to improve upon, right? And you can, and
Mm-hmm.
that kind of ties into my next question for you is, so coming into 2022, that's coming up around the corner here as we're recording this
Mm-hmm.
episode. What do you have set for your goals in 2022 for your fitness, for your health, your wellness? Like what are the things that you have on the mind?
So it seems to be that through this Spartan journey this year, that I was able to, blissfully inspire a lot of folks to uh, perhaps join it as well, and the significant other in my life wants to join it, but necessarily wasn't want to really do the obstacles per se. So there's this other version of the marathon which I became aware of, the trails. So that's something that I would love to try, the Spartan Trails. Not just one, but from my understanding, there are the three types of course. You have the, what is that, five, and basically you have the small, medium, large ones. So those are the like all these damn races. They're all like tall, grande, and venti. So that's basically the whole gist of it. Okay, so
Yeah.
the trifecta, yes, the trifecta, and of course, I believe you're. Well, actually, there's two things. That's one of them, the trifecta. To do that with your wife, and to do that, with my, with my lady, and the other thing is also to continue to bug and persist. And she's out there in podcast land. Your sister, that she can be able to get this as well. That's she's
Yeah.
next on the list. So to everybody out there in podcast land, my ass could do it, then your ass. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call it like that, but but you can do it as well. So am I going to stop this? After immediately after the race, I said yes because that really whooped my ass. But for 2022, I'd like to try something different, which is the trail factor. Yes, that is the goal in mind, and that's another specific type of training as well because you have it's a lot of miles and all the inclines and declines and to be acclimated to the weather and things that such. So that is what I very much want to do, and if the stars line up, then maybe I want to get another three set of medals to match these three sexy medals right here. So so there,
There it
so
is.
that's exactly what I have in mind right now.
I love it.
Hmm.
So I wanted to kind of, I want to be respectful of your time too, because we have so much more to share with your story, and obviously, 2022 is going to be bigger for you. You want to pursue a trifecta. I'm going to be right there with you,
Hmm.
to help you get there, and then pursuing another Spartan trifecta too, a Spartan race trifecta. So,
Hmm.
I wanted to kind of, tie in some quick fire questions for you,
Okay.
to close up this episode. Are you up for those?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. So these quick fire questions are just something simple for you to answer. It can be a short answer, or even a one-word answer. Okay. So don't feel
Hmm.
pressure. You gotta write me an essay, or write your
Okay.
memoir with this. Okay.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Okay.
All right. Let's see. So in this process, so think of this whole time we've been working together for your journey. Okay.
Hmm.
So, what's your favorite cheat meal that you had on this journey?
Oh my goodness. Donuts.
Donuts. Yes,
Donuts.
I love it. A donut.
Donuts.
Donuts are my favorite too. So,
Yeah,
um,
donuts.
what do
The
you?
Rock loves donuts. I love donuts.
Is there a specific kind?
Yes, glazed with whipped cream in it.
Oh man, I love it.
Totally horrible for you, but hey,
Hey,
you
if
gotta
you
have
earn
it.
it, you earn it. You earn it, right? So, what about favorite beverage? It can be an adult beverage, whatever you want to list off.
Oh, cheat meal. Favorite adult beverage or favorite cheat meal beverage?
Any beverage. What's your favorite?
Iced tea.
Iced tea.
Yeah,
Dang.
non-sweet iced tea.
I thought it was gonna be the Rock's drink. The what
Oh,
was it?
Zoa. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, for everybody in podcast land, tomorrow they're 30% off on Amazon. Okay, just to let you know. Just to let you know. That's a quick plug right there.
Shout out to the Rocks. The Rock has invented something. So those that don't know, my cousin and I were big, are still big wrestling fans. That as far back as WWF. So the cousin over here has the perfect hair, like just like Roman Reigns. We call him Filipino Roman Reigns.
Oh,
So yeah, those that are not watching, check out his social media. You'll see his beautiful mane.
yeah. Hold on,
Oh
okay, hold
no!
on.
So on this video, he's spraying his hair literally right now. It is water and conditioner. That's awesome. Um, also, cousin and I, we grew up together as kids, and he has this major collection of like awesome toys and things like superhero related things, wrestling related, Voltron related, whatever you can think of as a 80s kid. Who's your real life superhero, cousin?
Life like human being superhero.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness, that's I have to really think on that one.
Go for it. You can answer it later too. Like, don't feel pressured. We can even
Yeah, I
put
have
it in
to.
the comments.
Yeah, I have to.
Post it.
Yeah, I got a real. Actually, you know what? I do have an answer. The answer is to all the hardworking. It isn't one person specifically, but rather it is a group of
Mm,
folks. It is to the hardworking mother and father, the one who gives works more than 9 to 5 and gives 110% for the kids. Like totally sacrifices everything, their whole wants and desires, so that their little ones can be successful in life. And you're in that list because of the father that you have been
oh
and
man.
are.
Thank you, cousin.
For you're not so little girl anymore. She's like 10 feet tall. So, yeah, as from day one to today to his not so little girl, the 12-foot monster who is his daughter right now. But anyways, yeah, you and your wife, of course, you're part of that group of heroes. To all the parents out there in podcast land, you guys are the best. Taking care of your kids, doing 110% for them, um, laying everything down the line, your wants and desires, so that could be successful in life and be an asset to society. You guys are great.
That's beautiful. I love
Hmm.
that. That's
Hmm.
awesome. Thank you for shouting us out. That's awesome.
Hmm.
Um, you have a ton of I mentioned earlier, a ton of like um these collections of 80s like superheroes, and even today we both are into like Marvel, and
Hmm.
what superhero do you identify with the most, over the years? Like, you can think as far back as you know Transformers, or to the current you know stories that are out.
Oh, a superhero that I can identify myself with?
Yeah.
Yeah, me personally. I don't know, probably Deadpool, because he's an anti-hero and he talks a lot of shit. And he's because he's like basically me, because he talks a lot of smack and like he's very comedic, and as you've known throughout the years, that's basically me. I talk a lot of he has a good heart, so but but he still talks a lot of smack, and and he's very graphic, as I've throughout the years I've been and I'll leave it at that, about a wide variety of things. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. I
about a
hope
wide
my
variety of
I
yeah,
hope
about a
my
wide
my
variety of things.
community meets you for sure. My community will meet you at some point at these
Yeah.
races. we do the team races. So
Yeah.
yes, I love that.
So
I love that.
yeah. So
If
very very graphic and very a foul mouth. Trying to keep it PG for everybody out there in podcast land. So,
so
but
good.
that yeah. So that being said, yeah. So albeit not my favorite one, but I can identify a lot between him and myself. So
Okay. What about you know my story. I've shared this with many people, even here on the podcast. Like one of my mentors, my personal heroes was my dad. And we
mhm,
have this relationship, shared common bond with our own fathers. Like so,
mhm.
who was your mentor growing up or in life? Who's your mentor?
uh, my not really a mentor per se, but someone that really inspired me in my life. I would have to allude that to my grandma Connie Hidalgo, because it was her who helped me know and learn about my culture and my language, my Ilocano language. Um, because everybody out there, I am a Filipino, American-born Filipino, and I was able to learn a lot of the culture and language through her, and so I'm able to speak that dialect fluently, and I'll be aware of my culture because of her. Basically, she taught me about kindness and was always kind to me and stuff like that. So that's where I would like to say that I got a lot of that from.
Beautiful. That's awesome. Um, yeah, and I very much remember her as we grew up together too. So may she rest in paradise.
Hmm.
What? So to finish up, here's your final question. Are you excited?
It's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Am I gonna get a prize though? I went for those.
Yeah, you get a
Is
fist
there a?
bump from me, like
I don't know.
virtually.
Yeah, is there a Vanna White? Can we get a Vanna White in the house?
Yeah. So each of us have our stories, right? And this is something important for each of us to do is to leave a legacy, leave something that we want to be remembered by. So what's that one thing that you wish to be remembered by, that when they think of Allan Reyes, like, you know what do you want to be remembered by? What's your legacy that you want to leave behind?
Do anything. You are not. Um, You're not controlled by the only person that can be able to control you is you. If you want to be successful in life, you can be successful. If you want to be a failure or to be whatever, then that is entirely up to you. But the legacy that I want to leave is, albeit there's a lot of negatives and what have you, and reality may suck, but it doesn't always have to be that way. You could always make the decision to rise above that. And I'm living proof of that. Through my midlife crisis and through all that stuff that I went through, um, I made the decision to hear an echo. Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
all good. Yeah, but anyways, so long story short, through this little discussion that we've had, I made the decision not to let all those factors bog me down. And a lot of folks have seen, family members, friends, strangers, that I didn't let any of these things, weigh on me or bring me down. I made a decision to do these races. I finished these races, not by myself, of course. There was a ton of help, yourself included, and the family and support of everybody out there in the Spartan community, to all you guys and girls out there who, whether you stuck out your knee or you helped me through a wall, shout out to you guys. You guys are the best. Or whether you said something as simple as you can make it, or a rule, or any of that. You guys are great. Love to you guys. But anyways, you don't have to be bogged down by your weaknesses. You don't have to be bogged down by your excuses or by the reality that you may be getting weaker, older, what have you. Albeit those things may be present, but in reality, they don't have to weigh down on you to the point where you become next to nothing. So, long story short, what I want people to remember me is you can do any damn thing you want to, and I'm living proof of it right here. See that shit right there? See that? See that? Look, I'm Iron Man, baby. Look at that. See that?
Oh, that is sick.
That is my legacy.
That is
Keep
awesome.
doing it.
Thank you
So there
so
you go.
much, cousin.
Hmm
Those that don't know what he just held up, those that are listening that not watching, he held up this Iron Man glove from the Marvels versus, was it what movie?
uh, Endgame or
Avengers.
whatever that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Infinity, whatever. Yeah, one of those.
the
The one.
glove with Iron Man. It had the Infinity Stone, so he custom designed it to add the Spartan trifecta medal. So check out his Instagram or Facebook as well as my Instagram, Facebook, and you'll see a picture of him on there. So that's something that is a lasting impression that I was so happy to see and experience, and be there for him to help him, gain that and level up in that way. So thank you for that opportunity to help you, cousin, and I'm looking forward to helping you continue with your journey, with the fitness and with life, so
Oh
because
yeah, we ain't done yet.
we're gonna be the oldest people out there, I'm sure, with these races or whatever else we get into trouble with, so
Oh yeah, we
yeah. So to finish up, can you remind people where they can find you, on how they can reach you on?
yeah. So you can go to Instagram. I am at Hidalgo Castillo. It's HIDALGO CASTILLO.
Mhm.
76. I think that's well. We double check that. I don't want
Or
to.
it might be Castillo Hidalgo, right?
Yeah, still you. Yeah, I don't want to. Hold on. Okay, there you go. No, no. I'm sorry out there. So it's Castillo H Reyes 76.
There it
It's
is.
CASTILLO HREYES 76. That is my Instagram label, and then I am on Facebook under Allan Reyes, of course, and you can also reach me at Popcorn. For those of you '80s kids out there, you can reach me out there, and I'll give you the time of day. Um,
Oh no.
you
There's a lot of people that probably listen don't even know what popcorn is, so that's
I
how
know
old
that.
you
I
are.
I shout out to the folks from the '70s and '80s. Yeah, we rule.
You
And
can
any
also
of you,
yeah, you can also reach cousin on rotary dial. Um, uh,
oh my goodness.
all right,
Uh,
so we're gonna
and,
wrap. Yeah, go ahead.
please, I'm also on I'm also on AOL.com. For those of you who have a modem and dial-up, I'm on there. You can catch me on there, and on MySpace. Tom is my friend too. You may have Tom as your friend, so
I don't even know if my MySpace. I think my MySpace is still active. I don't even look at it. I think I have a Friendster out there too that I didn't
oh
even.
shoot.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So you definitely reach me on there, and one last thing, you can still reach me my pager. It's 916 555. It's 1438. That's 916-555-1438. If you don't get a call right away, that means I need to get a AA battery. Okay, so yes, pagers do exist in the 21st century.
Oh man, that's
Uh,
classic. All right, guys, we are gonna sign out. I will be sure. My cousin is the light of my life right now. He's one of the guys that shines bright, and he keeps me on my toes. So um, you can see how much energy he has. So we're
oh
gonna
my
sign
goodness.
off for there. I'm sure he's gonna be back on here at some point in 2022. This is the final episode of the Joe Bala Fitness Podcast for 2021. there's so much more to share. And my cousin Allan will be right there with me to share on that journey. So thank you again, cousin. We're gonna end there. Anything else you want to say?
Um, as the year ends, I know a lot of you folks out there want to make a New Year's resolution. You don't have to wait till the 31st. Make it right now. Make it right now and stick with it. I know it's really hard to stick with a resolution, whether it be especially diet or whether it be changing lifestyle change. It's hard. It's hard. It sucks. Whether you want to try to change a vice, smoking, drinking, or what have you. But believe me, my cousin, the coach, Joe, can testify, and a lot of the folks that he has on this podcast, including myself, and more folks that he will have on this podcast, will be able to share and testify that um, the benefits far outweigh anything else. So if you're gonna make that damn New Year's resolution, do it today, the December the 26th, and let's stick to it. And you won't be alone. He'll help you, and then I'll help you via pager or MySpace or Friendster or anything like that. So there you go. All right, you guys take care.
Awesome. All right, cousin.
Rue.
We're gonna stop the recording there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go condition my hair right now. It's drying out. Condition your hair at least every once a week. Okay, don't let it dry out.
All right, we're gonna end it there. All right, let me see.
Everybody have a good 2022 and more success and more power to each and every one of you.
Yes. Awesome. Signing out, cousin. Let me stop this recording and then let's finish up a conversation here real quick.
Okay.